you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Who they gonna take off this planet and make comfortable?
Without even thought.
Of course, because if you know the nature of certain individuals,
right.
Certain races of people, man.
Oh yeah.
Or I should say, certain people within races, that vicious, demonic, spirit, man. They don't care about no life.
No.
These are the same people that will take the DNA of a man and mix it with a dog.
Yeah.
Take it and mix it with a monkey. Mix it with other kinds of animals, and then let this thing live to see what happens. What they care about a life.
That's right.
This
thing of genocide that we're talking about, it is always taught against people of color because in the world, again, those Caucasians, we're not making the black and white things we constantly keep putting out here, but the truth has to be told. It's not about a black and white, but the people that they're killing are people of brown and lighter skin.
That's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
The sad thing about it is that if you tell the truth, then the enemies of man gonna say, look at what they saying. They racist.
Racist, right.
How can we be racist?
We're not empowered.
They say that racists have power to infect or to implement his racism, his or her racism.
Right.
What can I institute?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no power to institute anything against a nation of people. But they surely do.
Oh yeah. And the thing about this particular program that we thought here, we had equal opportunity. We attack anyone that's against truth.
Yeah.
Black, white, blue, brown.
Right.
And people hearing that is what they look and say, well, they do say what's on their mind. They speak their piece.
You got it.
Whether we for it or against them, they do say what they say. And the thing that we're giving out is the truth that the Lord has sent this man with that is given to us. That we put out and perpetuate of what Ahezaah called us to understand today. And the thing that the people need to look at, not so much what the Holy Apostle said, not so much look at his color or his complexion, but the truth that the Lord gives him. People will not weigh his words.
It's just a straight truth.
The book here that we have on the table, for example, the divine book, the precursor to the divine recitation, speaks about many of the ills of this society, in the world of humanity, what's going on today, the doers of evil and those who stand for the good. And the people have a tendency who will not read, and that's one of our main downfalls. We won't educate ourselves.
Well, we was diseducated to do that.
Right.
We was nurtured to do that by the very same people who say that we're wrong even today for doing that and pointing out the history of men. And it's probably for cutting you off, but we don't tell you just go into the religious books. Go into the history books.
Yes.
Stop listening to other people. Go into the history books yourself. Get on your internet and go into the history and go and seek to discover what race of people lived in certain areas in the land over in the Middle East and in the Far East and even here in America at different times. And from that history you can find out what was the color or the race of the people. And the thing about it is with Ahezaah, that race doesn't matter.
Right.
It sends its prophets to the people that it wants to get its message, the ones that it wants to uphold its covenant. Why would it send Caucasian to this society, to the chosen people, when the chosen people are us? We are the degraded people. We are the lowly people. We are the lowest people. And the Lord always go out and save the lowly people. In the history of religion, the history of man, you go back and look throughout all the history, it's always been the lowly people. Jesus was a lowly man. His people were lowly. Muhammad's people were low. They were despised by the Jews, and they were lowly people. They called them desert.
Sand, desert rats.
Desert rats, they called,
different names.
Well, different names that they put on those names that carry negative connotations.
That's right.
And they said they was uneducated. Even Muhammad was illiterate. Muhammad had no schooling and couldn't read and what have. So he came from a lowly people. But here it is.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, and even in the Quran it says that the people turn from Muhammad and say, you can't be the one because you're not good. You're not of us. You're not elite. You're not educated. You're not, you're not rich. You're not this. You're not that. Here we go again. The lowly people. Why would they send a Caucasian?
This is a reach out to the lowly people who, in many numbers, just run behind those very people that they are aware of their oppressors. The people today, African American people for that matter, they clearly know who the oppressor has been. They clearly know what the history is. We were talking about the event of slavery and how you used to be punished for trying to read a book.
That's right.
Those are clear written histories.
Yes, and clear racism too.
And there's always wanting to forgive. What is that? We call it the kidnapper syndrome. That wasn't the
Oh yeah,
that's it. That's it. Okay.
You start loving your kidnappers.
You're captured.
Yeah. But
I did well with your captured.
The thing that gets me is my Lord has said to me that my people is a very ignorant people. And see, our people, because they're not educated, they think ignorant means stupid.
Right.
With ignorance, it merely means to ignore someone. I'm talking to you ignoring me. You're turning a deaf ear. You're not listening. And we are very ignorant people. We don't listen to the signs of the truth. We don't listen to the wisdom of the Lord Most High. And the Lord said to me that Caucasians in this society, when the heat get on, they're going to come running this way.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't play. When they find out that some terrible things is about to happen, and then they got an answer, and in this case, I'm the answer, they're going to be trying to push the people that I've come to out the way.
And the same
to get with this. Look how, you think in terms of, you take something as small as Muhammad Ali. Who got Muhammad Ali? Who holding Muhammad Ali up? Who putting him like he's a diamond in the ring? The Caucasians are today. The very people that tried to destroy him, but they know that what he stood for was right, and he became the answer, and they snatched, and they knew he stood for what was right. They knew Elijah stood for what was right. You understand? But the thing about it was they couldn't grab hold of Elijah because Elijah he's Allah's holy man, and he could not compromise. Just like this message here is for all races of people, all nationalities, all lands, and what have you. But I am not here to compromise. I am a part of the chosen family, and the chosen people are of my people. And what it is for us to do is to take this thing and uphold it, like what the Jews was given a covenant. They were supposed to uphold and protect. They were supposed to protect and share. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's what my people are supposed to do. Take this covenant, protect it, and share it to the world.
But what you shared with the truth is that it's not until other people embrace it, then our people with the last one come to then they'll run.
They see get them permission.
Yeah, you can believe
because
this man
they got that slave mentality. Look at the Muslims. The Muslims are very book-minded people.
Yeah.
Okay, very many of them are studious. And when it comes to other people of religion, come talking to them, they set them down because they got all of their languages, all their words of religion, and then they got the Holy Quran. And then the people that came before them, their people cursed the Holy Quran, so they won't look into the Holy Quran. So whatever they got came before the Holy Quran. And they won't look into what came into the Vedas and the Upanishads or any other, the other books that the Lord has sent even before Christianity, because their people told them, don't look in it because you'll be cursed and you go to hell if you study these other things. Jesus is Lord, that's all you need, or this one, that, and that's all you need. So, but now you got the Muslims acting ignorant, acting foolish.
Yeah, they do.
All caught up into their books, and because they have turned a deaf ear to the Lord's wisdom, now they just believe in what's written. And it can be written in any book.
Yes.
And they believe it until something devastating comes down on them and show them that it's not true. And that's when they may turn around.
Holy Mother touched on something that's important. The message that the Lord gave Holy-Apostle Deen is not so much for the religious people, because they're the ones that are the first ones going to reject and turn away. But it's for those who are not really educated in religion, but they are looking for something to stand on, to look for to stand forth in. And this truth here, if they start looking into it, we call so-called the people like us, everyday people trying to live life, stay ahead of the game, stay in the struggle, above living to their means, and recognize what's going on. Those are the ones that see the signs in this world. Those are the ones that watch the program and say, I can hear what you're saying. But I know life is beating the hell out of me every day. And I need something to call me back. Or I need something to believe in, because they look to them, our black politicians, who supposed to represent hope to them, and now they're falling by the wayside because they're selling out in the compromisation of the message, because you can't have church and state mixing together, religion and politics, because in that game, you lay old sayings, if you lay with dogs, you're going to get them fleas. And they come with them fleas, and they say, okay, and now people say, well, I want to look to them, but I see them failing. So what else would they fall and look to? And this message is a message of hope for our people today. I just call us the Afro-American people, the newly chosen people of this day, who've been mixed with all the races of people around the world. We are new people, and that's a message that you need to recognize, that you are a new person, a new people that the Lord has called to this. And now it's your opportunity now to hear this word being brought forth, and this message at the man of the sign of the times for this day, to recognize it. He may be one the Lord has called to. Let me look into this message deeper, beyond the surface of what we see today, and recognize, as you, Lord, give you, and bring to him, then the Lord will open up so much more for you of this truth, that you may become like the Abraham. I see the signs in the celestial being, and that's not my Lord, but the one that created all these things is the one. That's the
beyond the surface of just the clothing.
Oh, the clothing. Sneakers.
Like or the sneakers as well. Or whatever colors you wear, or your status or whatever. Like
we've had. You want to say something?
Yeah, what I would like to say is, you young people especially, don't be afraid to take a chance in trying to gain and wisdom from your Lord.
Yes.
Don't make it, nobody makes you think, because, I know that back in the day, people used to say, yeah, I'm going to go and join the nation. I gotta study more.
Well, I've had people say that to me. I want to talk to you, man. We're going to sit down, we're going to rap, but I got to study first.
That's not necessary.
Right.
Because whatever you think you know, you don't know.
Right. Oh, yeah. And you can't prepare yourself for the Lord's man.
No.
You can't study a book and think that you're going to get on par with the Lord's man. You just can't do it. And I think that's probably for cutting you off, but I think there's something that where the Muslims that have come to us over the years, over these past 27 years, had failed to realize over and over and over and over again. People running to me with their books and having their minds flattened, and having what they brought to me explained to them to a high degree, and then they run away and say, well, I hear what you're saying, he's deep, oh man, this brother's deep like that, man, he's telling you, but I can't get with him, man, because all my people's over here. You know, you know, like, you chance to be taken out and taken right to hell. You know, because this message is not my message. I don't own this message. I don't master this message. I don't master the word. The Lord masters me, and He masters me in the word. I don't take claim for not one iota of what I speak, write, or send forth to the people of the world. Because I can't. I can't do that and be true. Jesus would not do it, and Muhammad would not do it. All is from the Lord Most High. You know, and the Lord, and that's something that I witness every day. You know, in my communications with it, and its intimate relationship with me. But of course, we have people who want me to stop saying I have an intimate relationship with the Lord Most High.
Right.
You know, they can't find no fault in my words except I say I'm a prophet. Because some devil done told them for over 1,000 years that there's no prophet to come. And they read right in their book that Allah said they said the same thing about Joseph. There was no one to come out there. But they can't see that. See, Allah is the one that leads you astray as well as guide you right. And Allah has led many of them astray because they have been so ignorant.
I laugh. I think about that joke that you always tell. I can't read, but I can't read writings. I can't see the forest for the trees. The mistake that many people of the world, not just religion, but people in general, had a mistake. Their problem is that they look to the man, don't hear him saying the Lord's word. He's saying, as he's starting his own thing. This is his thing. Right. So because of that, but at the same time, they follow people that have their own thing. That's the funny contradiction right there.
The ironic thing about it is that I don't have a church. I don't have a temple.
Right.
I don't have a mosque or a masjid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any place for the people to gather.
Right.
Because in my years of calling, the people that came was only enough to help me get this word out. They weren't enough to help me build an institution. You understand? And those who we went to that could help, they always had closed doors in front of us. Mm-hmm. You see, and the Lord don't want me going to become in debt to the devil.
Right, yes.
So he can come and snatch away from me what he gives to me. You know, and it's false support. Mm-hmm. You know, so the thing is, if you want to become a part of a religion,
right,
what you don't understand about it being a way of life with some box-formed institution, then you're going to become like a tree stuck in the ground. Mm-hmm. And all you could do is waver in the wind and drop your fruit near the trunk of the tree.
Right.
You understand? Mm-hmm. You won't be able to go any place and see anything. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe your seed might be carried off by a bird or something that eats the fruit of you and take you across the land somewhere, and then that foolish religion that you become a part of grow over there too.
Right.
You know, it's better to be like nature itself, that which feeds the trees.
Mm-hmm. I remember one a few years ago mentioned that there was a message to come with a small group of people. Now looking at the books of the Lord, and all the major messenger prophets never had a house of worship themselves that they can go to.
No.
Jesus walked around for 3.5 years that they report in the Bible, going around from city to city, town to town, preaching the Lord's words. Moses, when they came out of Egypt, the Lord gave them a place that it was promised to them, but because of the hard-headedness of the people, they wandered for 40 years in the desert. So the Lord had to educate them as they were traveling, as they were going with the Torah and the books. So now we have these so-called mega churches, big places of worship, masjid, temples. Now these people look for success in the building, in the physical structures, but the Lord structured His word and sent down into the people. You are the churches, you are the city, you are the masjid. The Lord talk about that you get this word within yourself, establish it within your being first. Then the word will grow, the fruit will grow in you. Then you will manifest outside it. But people in the world go the opposite. Everything is backwards again. They go from outside in. I have the dress wear, I look the part, I look act the part, but are you of the part? No. That's the difference.
And Jesus said, the Lord Most High, or the eternal being, is not to be found in the churches and the temples with filth of wood and stone. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But it's to be found within and about the being of every man. All believers, all things. You understand? And you know, we know that in the religious language, the holy men have always said that the heart is the seat of the throne in man, and that we should purify that heart. And the way to our Lord Most High is through our own selves.
Right.
You know, but everything, like you said, is backwards. It's turned inside out. You know, and you have ministers, the so-called televangelists and what have you, coming up saying, spreading this rat poison throughout the world, saying like, if you're not in Jesus, then you're not going to be successful in the world.
Right.
A sign of you being successful in Jesus is you having things.
Right. Material.
You know, but the Lord, one of the first things the Lord told me, is said, you know, like in translating part of the Quran for me, which I can only read the translation of, but it told me what the translation, what it really meant.
Right.
It says that it blesses those who seek the good of both worlds.
Right.
You know, and then it explained to me, because when you think about seeking the good of both worlds, if you're on a low-level mentality, you don't understand that the Lord Most High, the eternal being, the infinite eternal being, the reality is the good.
Yes.
In both worlds. The same one good in both worlds. You'll think that it's your actions or that action or something that you think tastes good or feel good or look good, you know, and then you got the shown up demons be telling you the goods.
Right. Oh yeah.
The material things of the world. When these material things don't exist. And then they go so far as to say what the Lord has prophesied for this life. Right. It was meant for the life hereafter.
Yeah.
When you come to the Lord at the throne of judgment, the day of judgment, it's going to be in heaven. When the mountains are smashed and what have you, that's in heaven. And they don't know nothing about the life hereafter. All that the Lord has given us in prophecy in the Holy Quran, and the Bible, and the different books of the Bible, different books of the prophets, has been about this life, this world, this material life, the present day, past days, and days to come, about with normal people.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what's going on now. You know, it's about normal people who are going to be saved. If you want to be saved, you got to get with the new covenant of the Lord Most High. You got to get with His latest message. The mistake that people of the book have, of the religious books have made before, is that they will not get with the current message. They get the past message and they get stuck there, and they're falsehood and they're confusion, and so and plus they always be prepared by the devil to not accept the new covenant. Just like you got people today, it's been prepared, has been prepared, and is being prepared to not accept this new covenant that the Lord has given me. That we keep talking about.
Many of whom will read the stories of the people in the past and laugh and mock those people in the past, supposedly mock them for turning away from the true messenger with the small group that's standing before them. And here they are prepared to see a small group, such as this setting, such as yourself, Lord, and then they're not prepared to follow or investigate.
I put a challenge out, and most of the Muslims around know that I put the challenge out on the internet. I sent the challenge out in letters, and I through the masjids and to all different countries, about myself. Come prove me wrong. Let's have a forum. A public forum, so that the people, the common people, can see in a live performance. For them to deny and to take down the words of truth that Allah has given me, Ahezaah has given me, and what's been written in these books. And I have even gone so far, because the divine book of recitation is not published yet, I've even gone so far as to tell them I will bring that to the forum. Pages, all the pages to the forum, and for them to tear it down. Now some of these same spiritual leaders who have sent their people to try to do us harm, they refuse to get with that. Now we had one not long ago, brother didn't want to buy a book, and he ran and called his sheikh in Jersey City. My sheikh said he wants the book. I'm quite sure his sheikh probably had heard about me already. And probably want to see if it's true, because you got many Arabs and people from the East, they know about the truth of me. They can't go out and say it for the fear of getting their heads cut off. See, you know that the people want to threaten me about, what I'm saying, but if they can get past Ahezaah with that, so be it. But those who have little faith in the Lord Most High and have more faith in men and fear men, they will never turn to this unless those who they fear say it's all right to turn.
Yes, sir.
But now we had that sheikh buy the book. Muslim bought the book. We know he read it because he bought it. And read. What he got? The 3 volume? Paid for it all. We haven't heard from him since. And I said, hey, if I'm wrong, write me, tell me, come see me, call me, let me know. Nothing. So a no response says I'm not wrong. Because if they hate so much, they haters. They hate me so much, if they can find me wrong, please print some of the stuff that we write and show me where we wrong. Print it for your people. Put it out there. Go ahead and curse me. Put my picture out. Publicize me. Make me look like a fool to all the people. If I'm wrong, if you can make me wrong, I welcome it. Make me wrong. Show me that I'm wrong. But they can't do it.
2 points I mentioned. That one thing, like you said about the Muslims, they're the first one will attack. If they find you on anything, they're the first one.
They've been running since 1979, running at me and running to a wall. It's falling out from all levels. It's been all levels. I had an Arab guy, an Iraqi guy, Iranian. This was an Iranian back in the 80s, a student at the university, and he came to me and he recognized me as being a Muslim. But he said, "You Muslim?" I said, "Yes." And then he started talking to me, and I said, "Well, praise to Allah, peace is, Islam is all about peace. And he said, oh, that's what's wrong with you American Muslim brothers. I hate the way you think. You're so confused. Islam is about war. It ain't about peace. And I'm like, okay, here's one of the guys that our people worship. Black African American Muslims worship them. And he's lying, talking about Islam is about war and not peace. You war to bring peace. It's ultimately about peace. And you only war against those who war against you. That's what Allah say in His book.
That's right.
You war against those who war against you, and that's the only ones you war against. And if you have something inside yourself, one of them individual beings inside of you warring against you, you got to war against it. So if you ain't right with the Lord, your soul gonna war, and you supposed to war with your soul to war against all the evil that's inside yourself.
So what did he say once you tell him that?
Brother, when he realized he wasn't talking to a confused African American Muslim, he got out my way. And when he would see me, he would shake when he walked past me. I mean, literally shake. Because see, our people have been nurtured to fear lighter skinned people.
Right.
People who is, most recognized as being mixed with Caucasian.
Right. Oh yeah.
You understand? Light-skinned people. They worship them and they fear them and they respect them. That's automatic because of something that's not our fault.
Something
and the sad part about it is that you got certain leaders, man, political leaders, some civil rights leaders running around here, these silly black men running around here talking about you can be what you want to be, don't blame the white man, you can't keep saying that is your fault. Now, how you gonna do that when we haven't been brought forth to the realization of ourselves? If I'm a product of my father who was a forefather who was a slave, and I have not been taken out of that mental condition, how could you say it's my fault now? When do it become my fault if I haven't been returned back to the condition that I once was in? How could it possibly be my fault? I'm an extension of my father and my forefathers, and my forefathers are Native American Indians and African who were brought over here to be put in slavery.
Right.
You see, so I know that. I have that. I feel that inside of myself, in my spirit. I recognize that. You understand? And I'm inclined to that. Fortunately, like my Lord said, my people who was brought over here to be put in slavery was of those who escaped and mixed with the Native American Indians, who I have stronger genes with.
Right.
So therefore, I don't have that seed of fear and worship of these Caucasians or people who are light-skinned, just because their skin complexion is light. I don't have that spirit of bowing down and submission to them, but all I can do is offer to my people the words that the Lord has given me. I can't fight your fight for you,
right? But
I can give you what the Lord has given me, and it's been proven true.
I think it's so beautiful that the Lord give these words to people, and people sit back, and people may want to say in their home, watching, viewing this program, saying, they're not talking about religion, but like the Lord always gives us all things are relative, because it all relates back to the way of life. See, we're breaking the mold about religion. It's just Sunday, Friday, Saturday worship. Religion is every time you wake up in the morning, you lay back down in the evening. Your way of life as your day and your course go. So if you're enslaved to something, you're enslaved by the people of evil that keep you enslaved to fear other than the true supreme Lord.
Let me say this real quick because we're about to go off the air. But the ones who said that church and state don't mix are the ones who know that whatever the Lord brings rules. Right. And they don't want to be ruled. So they're not going to let you mix church and state. It's all supposed to be one.
This has been an I-Have moment. My brother, I know I was going to cut you off. We want to thank the audience for being here this evening. This is our Glory Year Anniversary show. We want to hope you continue to tune in. All you I-Have believers.
Of you want to do things right. To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?